In DC, for DC. DC Radio, 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov.
Welcome to the District Creators Radio Show. I'm your host, Cherise, and I'm very excited to welcome today's guest, Mr. Travis Ellis. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So I grabbed a brief snippet about you from the internet, and this is what it has to say. Travis Ellis grew up on the streets of Southeast Washington, D.C. and into a life of crime and drugs. After a brush with death, he turns his life around and becomes a passionate advocate for human rights on a mission to help others. I'm so glad I met you on your journey as a passionate advocate for human rights on a mission to help others. And I'm grateful to talk to you today about your entrepreneurial pursuits. So, for our listeners who don't know Mr. Travis Ellis, tell us a little bit about you and what brought you into the space of a DC creative.
A little bit about me is an individual man who just desired to inspire. I have a passion for seeing others prosper. Coming from a poverty-stricken background has really fueled and motivated the passion that I have to, push humanity forward, bringing people together and coming from a place of chaos to create constructive creativity. I think it was gifted to me. So I just try to do my part and just try to pave it forward for generations that come out of me and partner up with, folks that's in my age bracket, the millennials, you feel me?
I love that. I always am taken aback when people have any types of brushes or encounters with death that they survive, because that's a miracle to be able to be that close to, a ending and being able to turn that around. Now, after, the situation or whatever scenario that occurred that you had that brush, how were you inspired to move into the space of business and entrepreneurship after that?
Business is something that you learn, and I think over the course of time, what I've done is just gave myself a chance to learn something new, and really apply the talents that I had, to something constructive, and also being able to be mentored and coached back to life. I think that was one of the most critical keys that was used to unlock the success that I see now.
Okay. So that was kind of the inspiration behind creating your business. Give me some specifics, like what actual business endeavors. I know I always joke around and say I'm like the real Jamaican with 10 jobs. And anybody who's reminiscent to that, I call them my Jamaican cousin. So I know you my Jamaican cousin because you have a lot of different business endeavors and pursuits that you're a part of. So kind of give us some insight into what your business endeavors consist of.
Okay, sure. It's all centered around human care, So it's mission-driven work really to, help stabilize community. That's from the top down. It's about community, unity, and then designing different packages that benefit populations, from returning citizens to health and wellness to academic enrichment, and also just providing creative outlets, like creating platforms for people to come, whether it's poetry, book writing, some lyricists and things like that. So those are the little umbrella services that I find to be passionate in.
I love that. One of my favorite things, if you're a fan of the show, if you listen to the show, go back to the archives. I'm very proud to say that the show is a year old, but throughout
happy anniversary.
Thank you. Throughout the time of the show, I've consistently talked about the connection between creativity and mental health, and want to know from you, how has being in a business that allows you to have creative outlets as a part of your work, how has that impacted your mental health?
having creative control is the ultimate goal, right? Like, far as like not just producing content, but being, being inspired to, partner with other people, and also go in the archives and dig out ideas that were, maybe forgotten about, or I wasn't really motivated to do. Mentally, just being able to create allows me to, stabilize my mood. You know what I'm saying? Stabilize my mood to something that's relaxing, stress-free, even though it's stress along with the work. But since it's something that I love, it stresses me and it relieves me at the same time. So.
Yeah, I can get that. And to that end, that's a great segue to a follow-up question, because entrepreneurship can be just as stressful, if not more, than a 9-to-5 job.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a misconception about the differences between entrepreneurship and having a traditional 9-to-5. So as an entrepreneur, with the stress that you may encounter, even though you are working as a creative, what are some of the things that you do to practice self-care as an entrepreneur? Specifically as a man too, because I hate to do this, but men have a bad rap for taking care of themselves. So I got to put that caveat in there as well.
Absolutely.
An entrepreneur who is also a man in an urban environment.
Absolutely.
How do you practice self-care?
Yeah, my wife tell me all the time, I just need to slow down, you know what I'm saying? And slow down and
shout out to your wife.
Shout out to my baby India. Yeah. She take good care of me, you know what I'm saying? That self-care is important, you know what I'm saying? Like meditating, you know what I'm saying? I try to read, I make sure I read my word, get a good balance from a spiritual perspective. And then I read also business books, you know what I'm saying?
I think every time I see you, you got a book in your hand that you read. You like a walking library. What you reading right now?
I'm reading, it's a book called Thinking Together, and it's talking about rational discussion and how being rational allows us as human beings to, empathize with one another and find solutions in the midst of problems,
Yeah,
so that's
love that.
Yeah, that's my latest read. And then also self-care wise, you know what I'm saying? This meditation. Also, like, I'm like an adrenaline junkie, you know what I'm saying? So,
always going.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So riding a motorcycle, you know what I'm saying?
That was kind of, we was just saying, zoom on my Yamaha, that type
curl
stuff.
down 1100. What we doing? Getting money, And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you need things that'll take your mind away from money. So a lot of stuff that I do don't really have no monetary, materialistic value to it, That's another thing as a suggestion I suggest to people that's, doing what they do. Try to find stuff, man, that don't cost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You find... I found it had some therapeutic relief and going someplace, enjoying myself and not spending a dime. You know what I'm saying?
That always is a plus. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And small little plug too. Somebody had joked with me the other day saying that I always find a free stuff to do, which I do because I'm balling on a budget. So
for real.
One of the things that I found to do in the city, I love sharing things to do in the city, is that the Anacostia River Keeper organization, they do free boat tours of the Anacostia River, and you could turn it into a date night. You can bring drinks, you can bring a cooler, you can bring snacks, and they take you on an hour tour of the Anacostia River. So that's a cool thing to do to relax, and it's on the water too.
Question.
So
those are my good buddies.
Shout
out to Trey,
the
and
the whole crew,
River Keepers,
I love
the whole
them.
crew, man,
definitely. So switching gears a little bit about some of the more technical aspects of entrepreneurship and business, because there's a lot that goes into it, and you mentioned being a millennial. Millennial moguls?
Yeah.
Millennial moguls, of course. Tell us about millennial moguls, and then I'll ask you my millennial related question.
Okay, yeah. So millennial moguls is it's bigger than a brand. It's bigger than a movement. It's bigger than a lifestyle. It's for the collective. You know what I'm saying? For the collective generation. You know who desire to inspire. You know what I'm saying? Who influential in their own tucked off in a cut way, you know.
I like that.
And you ain't necessarily got to be out front to be shining. You know, you shine from wherever your cubicle is, right? Whatever your world study may be. Like, you shine and be comfortable, man. That's what Millennial Moguls was all about. Just, you know, you manifesting a greater part of you. You know, so yeah.
I like that. Yeah. So a big part of the millennial experience is technology, Wi-Fi, and cell phones, right? So I wanted to ask you, as a millennial, what are some of your favorite apps for running your business and your business endeavors?
Yeah, sure. You know, I talk about Google Drive. You know, Google Drive is I'm more like a Renaissance. You know what I'm saying? Like more of a Renaissance man. You feel me? Even though it's millennial mogul time. So, you know, really scaling down and not really trying to keep up with technology and keep up like with, you know, the Jetsons and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more Flintstone swag, boots on the ground swag. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah. Underground swag. You know, grassroots swag. Like, that's real impact to me. You feel what I'm saying? So social media, like, or media platforms and things like that, they ain't gonna say they're irrelevant, but the real work is more relevant to you know, to far as results is concerned, you know. But Google Drive though, you know, from the Google Drive, you know, you're able to create PowerPoints. That's an admin piece.
It does,
you know what
everything.
I'm saying? Save you a lot of paperwork.
It definitely does
Excel,
a lot.
So you know.
I love the whole Google suite.
The whole suite.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah.
Shout out to Google.
Shouts out.
And so, in that vein, I think one of the things that millennial entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs tend to struggle with when they're first entering the marketplace is coming up with or really putting out what their prices are, especially for a creative and their work. It's like, on one hand, it's like, keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my ish. And then on the other hand, it's like, I'm new here. Look what I got. Do you want to support it? So what advice do you have for new creatives in terms of coming up with a price point for their creative work?
You got quality control and you got quantity control. I would say quantize whatever your niche is. You know, if you make cologne, you know what I'm saying, before coming out with a $50 bottle of cologne that haven't nobody smelled yet, only you know what I'm saying, go to Amazon, buy, you know, 300 tester bottles for $20 and sample them, you know, and get them out for free. And, you know, start building your platform from that way, you know what I'm saying? So my advice is, like, whatever you build, and like, find a way to give it away for free that'll have people coming back to make a purchase or to put you in position, you know what I'm saying, to set yourself up to make some type of sales happen. But also, you know, even if you ain't trying to get nothing away for free, come out and put a price it however you want to price it, you know, because you know how much it's worth to you, so that's what you sell it for. And whoever that's in your market that like what you got, they'll buy it.
Stand by the price.
No question.
Put the price on it and then stand by it.
Yeah.
So going back to the technology piece, I know you like Flintstone era, but I know you are on Instagram. How does social media impact your business and your business endeavors?
I would say, like, far as, you know, it's just a little inventory, you know what I'm saying? It's like a blueprint to show previous work, you know, things or previous impact you was able to make, or just capture or make, you know, shown as a receipt that you've been doing a particular thing.
I love receipts. I'm somebody that's looking for receipts online. I need to know.
And that's
this legit? I need to know.
Yeah, and that's, you know what I'm saying, that's something else for the entrepreneurs out there, you know, just collect your receipts, keep them for the tax time. And,
oh gosh, yes,
you know?
Please don't even. We're gonna talk about taxes on a whole nother show. Like, let's not.
But I would say for social media wise, you know, just keeping your social media clean, that's always a plus. And then also just getting the image, you know what I'm saying? Like, figure out what your image is and sticking to your imagery as far as media is concerned.
Got it. What does the saying collaboration over competition mean to you?
Collaboration over competition? Collaboration over competition is more like a cooperation to me. You know, and that's a little conglomeration of the two words going to be cooperation and participation for real.
Yeah.
You know, because I think in order for you to move something ahead or move forward in anything that you do, you're going to need collaboration and participation. Competition, you know, we all in competition at the end of the day, whether it's directly or indirectly. So, you know, competition for all of us out there, I would say just for my own mindset, I try to keep competition healthy as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So something that helps me keep the view on competition healthy is that as I'm able to collaborate and be cooperative with people, people cooperative with me, and we participate, you know what I'm saying? We got cooperation.
I love that.
Yeah.
So one of the kind of pillars of the show is about balancing your passion and your paycheck, because a lot of people are in that in-between stage of entrepreneurship, or not even the in-between stage, because everybody doesn't necessarily desire to be a full-time entrepreneur. People are completely fine with side hustling and in a career they love. But then you have people who are really like, oh my gosh, I cannot stand working here, but I need to pay my rent. Right. So I'm going to work here while I'm trying to build this business out. So what advice do you have specifically for creatives who are working outside of their passion and want to turn their creativity into a career?
Yeah, I would say to the creative who is working on their passion, keep working on your passion. You know, one thing about the Chinese bamboo tree, you know what I mean, the seed goes in the ground in year 1. You don't see that you don't see or hear from that seed again till year 5. And then year 5, the tree shoots out to be 30 foot on the shoot. And that's the same thing when it comes down to the seed of your passion, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go underground once again and get into the root of your passion and figure out why you wanna do what you wanna do. Keep working on it. And even though, you know, you may be seeing small production come, you gotta at least give yourself a time measure, like a 1-year goal, 2-year, 3-year goal, and then see, you know, the production happening for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, find some measurables, you know, some SMART goals.
Yeah,
you
we
know
be trying to get back in the ground and see what's going on with the seed. Like,
yeah. We keep
what you
digging
doing
the
in
seed.
there?
We keep uprooting and digging the seed. The tree can't grow.
And moving backwards every time.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're going to have to keep your head down. This is an analogy that somebody gave me a long time ago, was that to keep your head down, stay down. You dig what I'm saying? Like, stay down at the end of the day, bottom line. Stay 10 toes down until you could come up. Stay down until you could come up. That's all it is. You will know
like
when the
that.
time is, yeah. We can't rush greatness, you know.
You really can't.
Yeah.
It takes time. It really does. It takes time. And then I've seen another post floating around Instagram and said something to the effect of like, you don't eat the fruit the day you plant the seed type situation. So it takes time.
It definitely takes time.
What would you say your ultimate goals for your business are?
Ultimate goals for business would be to create a business machine where as though the machine is sufficient enough that it can run itself, you know? So it's like scaling up. And having all the pieces working, whereas though, you know, as a CEO, I just be able to sit back and watch the business, you know, maneuver. You know, all the algorithms are grooving how they supposed to groove.
I want my algorithms grooving for sure.
Yeah, for real. And you got the right personnel doing what it's supposed to do. So, to be independently, you know, financial independence is the main goal for business.
What would you say the biggest lesson you've learned in business is?
Biggest lesson I learned in business is that don't think you know everything. You know what I'm saying? Number one, don't think you know everything, and you know, be patient, be humble, always be a student for real. You know what I'm saying? Always being the learner in the room. You know, being the first to listen and the last to speak. You know, often takes you a long way.
Yeah, you remember it was like an interlude on the Black album, and it was like Biggie's voice, and he was talking about Puffy and how he told him the key to success is treat every day like you an intern, like it's your first day. And that always stuck with me too. I think that's like really good advice, just to have that level of humbleness, humility, drive, and work ethic, like when you were super hungry for the opportunity and not kind of losing that drive.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and treat everybody like they was a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Treat the poor man like it was a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Treat the intern like it was a millionaire. Treat the janitor, you know what I'm saying, like they was a millionaire. You know, everybody is a boss in their own right.
Definitely.
You know, so.
If you were going to make a drink for success, and anytime you drink this drink, then you guaranteed to win, what 3 ingredients would be in your success beverage?
I would say dark days, you know, desperation, and destination.
Ooh, say more, because I was expecting things that were a lot more glitzy and glamorous.
Oh yeah.
So please explain.
Yeah.
Please explain how the dark days and desperation in this drink are going to produce success on the back end.
Yeah. I got my book coming out real soon.
Plug the book, please.
That's a book plug right there. You know, that's in my book. Y'all gonna have to read the book and really get the real ingredients to the key to success. Your dark days, you know, my dark days segue me into my light days. You get what I'm saying? Like my desperation actually pushed me into my destination. You feel me? So I realized, like, if I could kill it in my head, then I could kill it in my life. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes, growing up, we get beat up a lot. You know what I'm saying? You get beat up in the household. You get criticized outside the household. So then you grow up to adult. You see your family, and you know, have become an adult or you got some type of say-so influence. And 9 times out of 10, we take that same cancerous attitude and that continues to grow. Yeah, to everybody who we come in contact with. You know what I'm saying? So going through those experiences, you know, really allowed me to sit back. I'm like, man, if I experience all this darkness, you know what I'm saying? If it's all this gloom is here, I know it got to be some glamour somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's and I started writing. That's what it was. What really changed my life as an adult, right? I had started writing, like getting a journal. Someone gifted me a journal in like 2015 or something like that, 2014 actually.
So you hadn't journaled prior to that?
I had never written before.
Really?
Yeah, I had never written before, you know what I'm saying? And I had never written before.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd never written before. So, and I was just talking one day, and somebody just asked me, you know, I don't know what they was asking me for real. They was asking me something about who I am or what I do or where I come from, that type of thing. And I'm like, I'm from nowhere. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm from D.C., Southeast. The question is, can anything good come from D.C., Southeast? You feel what I'm saying? On the platform that I was at, you know.
Nazareth.
So, you know what I mean? So shouts out to the man from Nazareth. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, and somebody gifted me a journal like that day. It's like, man, look, every day you wake up, just journal, you know, and every business meeting. So that's how actually my business started developing, because every meeting or every session I was going into, I just had this journal. Oh, there's my journal right here. I just had my journal with me, and I just get to taking notes on whatever the topic was, that's what it meant to me. I just wrote it down. And when the right time came to formulate a business, I already had business ideas, concepts, based on how I was feeling from my journal. And then just turn all that over to, you know what I'm saying, a business model. And
I love that.
Yeah.
That makes me excited to read your book. I think journaling is like a great lifestyle habit to have.
Yeah.
It's also a great self-care practice.
Yeah.
It's a therapeutic intervention. So many benefits to journaling. So it makes me very excited to hear that you do that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, so we're going to do something really fun I love to do on the show. We're going to play a game. It's called #DC or Nothing.
Right.
It pays homage to Mr. Tony Lewis, who is the creator of the hashtag
Yeah,
DC or Nothing. Shout out to Tony. So basically, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, person, place, a thing, and you have to answer with something that's specifically related to the District of Columbia.
All right.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so hashtag DC or nothing. Name the best place in the city. This is from your perspective and opinion. Best place in the city to see the best views of the city.
Best place in the city to see the views of the city.
Yes.
That's top floor, penthouse suite.
Where? Which one?
That's on the high rise, Ellis Enterprise.
Oh, at your spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's your zip code? What ward you in at least?
Yeah, 220.
Okay. All right. Well, we know that's Southeast.
Yeah, so from the Southeast side, looking back towards the Southwest side, you can see the monument, you can see the Capitol.
Definitely
you can
best
see,
views.
you know what I mean? You can see you can see the landscape of the city, And in Northwest, I remember the city changed so much, but I remember just being in Northwest Somerset, place like that, the top of Georgia Avenue, Shepherd Place. But being able to look down back towards Southeast and you were able to see across, you know what I'm saying? That's how hilly the city is. Like literally when you're going up Northwest, you're going up a hill.
Yeah, you
when
are.
You're going down in Southeast, you're going down, down a hill, you know what I'm saying? Until you get on the hillside of Southeast to look back, across town.
I like what you did there.
Yeah, but that's the actual hood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
People don't know that.
Yeah, that's my hood. Yeah, hillside. Shout out to hillside, man. 46, 24 hours.
I love that. So look, I'm gonna ask you a question that I know you can relate to as a DC native, right? So you catching the bus from one side of the city to the other, right? You in Southeast. You catching the bus from Georgetown to your house.
Yeah.
What's your route?
My route.
Oh, you can get on the metro too. You using public transportation to get there. How you getting there? I mean, what's your route?
What you mean with my mode of transportation?
Yeah, no. So you can either use a combination of bus or train to get you from Georgetown to 220.
From Georgetown, I'll probably get on the train. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like taking the train. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like taking the train.
So what station you getting off? Where you got to transfer and where you getting off at?
Yeah, so you getting on at Benner Road Station. You know what I'm saying? You getting on at Benner Road Station. The blue line gonna take you to Metro Center. You know what I'm saying? And you going down. You going down to Georgetown. Down by the Foggy Bottom area.
Yeah.
And
you gonna walk it out.
Yeah, you just walking around. Yeah, that's it. Taking a nice little brisky stroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's summer in the city now. It's a summer Sunday, and you are hanging out solo for some self-care. So you're doing a sunny solo Sunday self-care day. That was bomb.
Yeah, I gotta write that down. That's a song. That's a song piece right there.
So what you gonna do for the day?
Hold up. What'd you say? Sunny?
A sunny Sunday solo self-care day.
Oh my goodness. Bars. Bars. Just in case some people don't appreciate bars. Sunny Sunday solo
self-care day.
Self-care. Hold up. So I put slow.
It's all right.
I need to put
I'll
so
remember
low.
it and write it down for you because the time is ticking. You got to answer the question.
Self-care day. No, it's real easy, simple. You know what I'm saying? It's for the summer nights. You hear me? Riding through the city with them city lights. This is how I feel when you live that life. I'm down Navy Yard. You dig what I'm saying? Sitting back, eating real cool.
There's some amazing restaurants down Navy Yard now.
Yeah.
Roy Boys, you been down there?
Roy Boys? Nah, I ain't been to Roy Boys, but I've been down Southwest.
It's very new. The Navy Yard location, and it's black owned, so it's on my list of things to check out. But they got Mission Barbecue, which is
Mission
dope.
Barbecue. I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, Shake Shack is always a favorite guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah, they got the ice cream jump down there. I don't know the name of it, but I just know where to go.
Yeah, Navy Yard is a dope place. All right, last question. In your opinion, I'm not even going to give you any options, but based on your historic DC native knowledge, what is the official shoe of the District of Columbia?
Official shoe of the District of Columbia? Man. You want me to give you a Nike boot? I say Nike boot.
Okay, so look, it was a controversy, right?
Or the New Balance.
That's the thing, is either one or the other. So the question is usually, what's the official shoe of the city? Is it Nike boots or is it New Balance? You got to pick one.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Hold on. You got it, but it's because you asked. No, it's twofold now.
You can only pick
for the
one.
summer, it's New Balance. For the winter, it's Nike boots.
All right, I
you dig what I'm saying?
I get
you dig?
that.
There's only one way to go. The suede can't walk in the snow.
You're right.
You don't put the suede in the snow.
I give you that.
Yeah,
Travis, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Great guest, great conversation. Let us know how we can keep in contact with you online, social media.
Sure. My Instagram, Ellis_enterprise. Website is yaame.org. That's YAAME.org. And yeah, that's it.
I look forward to having you back to talk about your book once you hit publish on it.
yes.
All Thank you for being here.
Plum pleasing pleasure.
I appreciate you.
In DC, for DC. DC Radio, 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov.